Hi. Is multitasking BS? Is it a myth? That cliche term, multitasking. You see it in many job applications. If you go and just read the studies about multitasking, you see that it's not reality. Multitasking is a stupid myth. I recently watched an episode of Netflix documentary Mind Explained, How to Focus episode. And in there was determined that multitasking is a myth. The whole saying comes from computers. But even computers can freeze. How many times has your laptop freezed? Especially if it has Windows. This is a good article. Multitasking damages your brain in your career. New studies suggest. Multitasking lowers IQ. So if you read any studies, they will determine that your brain is not made for that. It's not wired to do multitasking. Multitasking can work in certain situations. For example, I used to work in a factory. It was a very easy job, and I would listen to audiobooks or podcasts. That could work for me because my job was not that hard. It was very physical, so I could focus my mind on a podcast or an audiobook. A good multitasking is example, for example, if you're a musician in a studio and you play all the instruments, you play the bass, the guitar, the drums, maybe even sing. That can work because you're in that musical space, you're that environment, you focus only on the music. And it's related, the tasks are related to each other. It's music. But what happens if you stop everything, you go do some accounting. You go do some accounting, then you go back play the instruments. How could that possibly work? You're doing creative work, you're doing something with your hands, you're a carpenter or you're a musician, and at the same time you have to answer the phone and speak with somebody. Your brain needs to focus on one thing, not four things. You probably have heard of flow state or being in a zone. Well, that doesn't happen if you're juggling many things at once, many different tasks at once. That happens when you focus on one thing. It could be writing, it could be reading, it could be lifting weights or solving some problem like a mathematical problem. But it cannot happen if you're juggling. You're reading a book at the same time you're scrolling your social media. It just doesn't work like that. I had a horror story when I was working in logistics. Sometimes there was a short of staff. So I would have to do physical work, like I would have to drive forklift. I would have to do that physical work. At the same time, I had to answer emails. I had to open door for the trucks. So I was juggling many tasks at once and my brain was just going crazy. Then my boss complained if I did a mistake. Well, what did you expect? If I'm doing all this by myself, all these tasks. So preferably, you should always focus on one task. What is the most important thing at that moment? What should you do? And you focus on that. If you get in a flow state, it's beautiful. But trying to be some kind of superhero and doing all things at once, it's not possible. It's not reality. So let me know your opinion about multitasking. Have you ever tried to do it? Probably yes if you have ADHD brain. Let me know in the comment section below. If you want, you can like this video. I will talk to you next time. Take care and bye.